Good morning, everyone. Uh, I am a little fat. Today is 25th September, no, August, sorry, 2023. Right now it's 9:17 minutes. And, well, I uploaded a video a few minutes ago, and that video was made, I don't know, maybe 1 week ago, sorry. And I couldn't upload it because I was very busy with the job, the things here in the house, well, and also personal things that I'm going to tell you right now. It's not a deep thing, but it's something that maybe young adults come across once in a time, sorry. And for example, right now I feel very not confused, but I am in the air because I am not working in the profession I studied. I was graduated. So I studied nursing, but right now I'm a receptionist. The thing here is that working as a receptionist is something completely different from nursing, of course. That in the interview I said that it was not so distant from each other, that there are there are similar characteristics between a receptionist and a nurse. But right now, it's been 2 weeks, and I realized that there is nothing compared to being a receptionist and being a nurse. And well, I don't want to quit this job because I meet people, I meet foreigners, and that is something amazing to do every day. Also to speak in English. However, I noticed that when someone comes to the front desk, we always say the same phrase: hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, how can I help you? Um, if they are checking in, okay, sir, what name is your reservation under? Can I have your ID? Which room number, or all that stuff. There are other phrases that you can use, but it's not out of the blue, or well, um, it's not like the conversation you want to have when you're learning English, because when you are practicing English, of course, the greetings or maybe some grammar, of course, you're focusing on that thing. And you maybe think that in the future, or when you are going to meet someone that speaks in English, you're going to use that grammar, that vocabulary, and those tenses, all that stuff. You're going to use it with a conversation with this guy. But it's not always like that. You're going to narrow your vocabulary to one single thing. For example, right now, in the front desk, you're going to use only this kind of vocabulary. And I think that also in other fields, those people use also their vocabulary, their grammar, so they don't have this wide vocabulary that you want to practice, you want to use, but you have to be in this country in which they speak the language you learned, so that you can practice it and also learn more and more things. So maybe you might be excited that you have learned a language, and when you're about to use it, of course, at first glance, it seems like you have achieved something very, very big in your life. But with the time, you realize that there is nothing like it was not such a big thing that you thought it was, because you now realize that that thing that experience of speaking in another language, it's it has to be, well, it's not enough. Okay, so I feel right now with that thing. First of all, I don't fit in the front desk. Of course, not physically, but professionally. I don't like using the same phrases every day. Of course, it's now not interesting to hear someone speaking in English, because it's already, well, I have the experience I have the experience right now that people that speak in English, sorry, come to me to ask me something, not to talk or to have a conversation. So some people do, but not always happens. And also, and at the same time, I feel like if I go back to the hospital looking for a job with what, well, um, trying to apply for a job in whichever hospital, I feel that I I can help I can help thinking about working as a nurse again. And also, it is not well paid, you know, even if it's in the hospital or in an industry or factory. Some people and relatives included say that it is well paid in the factory or industry, the field of nursing. They are well paid. They earn a lot of money, more than in the hospital. However, you go through hard schedules, hard shifts, bad environment. Also, you don't get along with other fields. For example, if you have to communicate with your boss and he is in an administration thing, you will not get along because, I don't know, maybe it's because of you, because of his attitude or whatever thing, but it's not something that can be justified, you know. And well, most people um, happen to be in these situations, but some of them can resist that, can have that, face the music, and they don't have any problem because they know they can do the job, even if they have this bothering people. And well, for me, I am burdened about about the country, that even if it's a great hospital, the staff don't have the best attitude to work with patients. So it's not for me a place where I want to grow. I want to grow in a place where at least I can have a great communication with my colleagues. Most of you maybe are going to say that it is not possible. It's impossible to have a clear communication. However, there is like a limit. You set your boundaries, and you know that if your boss asks you something that you don't want to do, that is your boundary. All people have their boundaries. So for me, not having a good environment, not having a good relationship with the colleagues, it's not the best work for me, because when I first worked as a nurse, I realized that I had to take care of my colleagues' attitude, because if I need something urgent, I don't know if I can ask that colleague because he is mad at me or he's mad at someone or he's not going to answer, so I have to uh, amend the things, amend the problem. I have to solve the problem. And it's not the patient the aim of the day. So the purpose is to take care of your colleague instead of your patient, you know? So it's something for me really depressing, because you don't feel excited. And also, if I go to another field, administration, engineering, or whichever thing, I feel like if I feel I want to go back to be a nurse, because that's the thing I really want to be. Being a doctor or radiologist or whatever thing uh, that is out of nursing, I don't want to. I I'm completely sure that I want to be a nurse. Nevertheless, I have to fight every day, and I have to dedicate time, even if now that I'm working, I don't have time. So I have to sleep less. I have to um, study more. I have to stop thinking about not being in the right place. But I didn't make the most of the situation. For example, right now that I can speak in English, I have to make the most out of it. Right now that my son is a baby, I have to enjoy the time with him, also with my wife. And at the same time, I have to fight for my dreams, to achieve my goals, even if people tell me that it's not achievable or it's not profitable, because of the time, because of all the things that I will jeopardize. I don't care. So yesterday I was very depressed, not with a diagnosis of sadness or that thing, but I was thinking and feeling very stuck. I didn't want to do anything. I also did things automatically, but not with the intention of doing that thing with a purpose. I did stuff or and say some things without purpose, and also the present and the future was nothing for me, because I was not working as a nurse, and also I was not um, getting the process of working abroad done. But yes, right now I feel like I now can stand up. I spoke. I didn't spoke with anyone, but I spoke personally, inwardly, and I feel like I have to step back to see all the how can I say this, all the landscape of the situation, to see how can I handle the problems and solve them appropriately, and get into it and work a lot and work hard so that I can achieve my goals. So that's the thing that I want to say to you. 15 minutes, so sorry for this. Uh, I know most people in this age, it's between 20 to 30 years, will come across with this situation. Maybe you graduated as an engineer, as a firefighter, I don't know, and you end up working in another thing that you didn't come across you were going to work in. But also, I can tell you, this is your life, this is your thing, and you have to make the decision. Of course, you have time, but you have to take into consideration that if you're not doing something right for you, you don't feel very good. At the beginning of the day, you feel like you don't belong to that activity, to that daily activity. You have to sit down, relax, breathe, think about all the things, ask yourself if you're doing the things because you want to do that, you want to do it, or just because you are pleasing someone, because that person scolded you or told you that you are not um, capable of doing the thing you studied. Now you have to think if maybe if you don't feel comfortable with your career, you have to change it. Or if you are working in something else that is not your career, that is not um, your majoring, or I don't know, the thing that you studied for a long time, if you're working in something else that is not that, and you feel that you want to go back, you have to think, you gotta have a second thought. Sit down, relax. There is no one that you're going to hurt but yourself. If you're doing something else you don't want to, you have to desire to do that daily activity without a second thought. But if you have it, you have doubts. You have to make sure if you have some problems, go talk to someone, go talk to your friend or to your relatives if you feel comfortable with them. But having the problem in your mind, it's something big. But if you talk, but if you talk about it, it is not that big. It was not as big as you thought. It is something like a tiny thing that you were uncomfortable and made you think every day. But when you talk about it, it is nothing compared to what you thought it was. So meditate, breathe, go take a stroll, go talk to someone, go hang out with your friends and talk about it, and you will see that it is not the problem that makes you think you cannot do it, but yourself of not doing of doing nothing to achieve your goals. Of course, the first step, it is not becoming a millionaire or becoming the thing you want to be. Of course not. The first thing is realizing inwardly that you have to be in somewhere else. Or if you complain about the place you are, but it's the place you want to be, of course, being a nurse in Africa or in rural communities, of course, it is not the big thing because maybe you're more related to you get along with technology, so you want to be in a more modern hospital or modern um, uh, company, so you have to move out. You just only not are not you don't feel like you fit in that place, so you can move to another one. But it depends on you, okay? So 20 minutes right now. I just wanted to tell you that because I was very, as I told you, I was very swamped, and I couldn't talk to someone because I didn't have any time. I was very tight and tired. Um, so right now, well, I have the afternoon shift. So it begins by 2 p.m. So right now I am enjoying. Uh, I'm enjoying. Of course, it is not grammatically correct. Uh, but I wanted to tell you this. Of course, you can have these thoughts. You just have to keep going. If you feel burdened, sit, relax, talk to yourself, talk to someone, and you realize that you can do whatever thing you want to do. Okay. Have a nice day and see you in the next video.